We want to say welcome to the Bottomline Liberia discussions. Today is Tuesday, the 21st of July 2026. What an interesting day. And it shows that we are moving very close to the end of the year. But interesting things continue to happen. And so the Bottomline team is here tonight and we'll be discussing some of those interesting things. They're happening all around the world, but now they're happening right underneath our legs, our feet, our own feet in Liberia. So all of us here are Liberians, and this platform is a Liberian European-based platform. And so we'll discuss the issue as they unfold. Let me say welcome to the team. Paul, the Lord, Churute, Mark, Far, both of you are well seated in your respective studios. Let me say welcome to you guys.
Well, good evening, gentlemen. It's good to be back on the Bottomline discussion. It's been a while since last appeared due to some busy schedule have kept me away for a while, but it is great to be back here, and also it is great to be among the living and to share this platform with you good people this evening. How all of you doing?
We are doing great. Mark?
Yeah. I want to say good evening to our audience and good evening to my fellow panelists. And I'm doing well from in Stockholm. Yeah. And let's get the ball rolling.
Okay. And we want to apologize that we are coming on a little bit late, but it says better late than never. Sometimes there are technical glitches that we have to overcome to get on the show. But it's good that we're here and that you are there. Welcome. And if you just joining us, we want to say welcome to the Bottomline Liberia discussions. Tonight we're not going to take any musical break. We're going to go right into the show. But just before we do that, and to get the team set up, we just got to play this quick jingle, and then we'll go straight into the show.
Through trials and tribulations, you have prevailed. The spirit is unbreakable, never derailed. With a rich heritage and culture and grace, Liberia, you are the land we embrace.
You are welcome to the Bottomline Liberia.
2026. And you're welcome to the Bottomline Liberia discussion. Just in case you are not being welcome. And if you're coming for the first time, make this place your home. Let us know that you are watching from where, and then we can acknowledge you. Guys, I don't know, but let's start from away, and then we can come back home. And the only foreign news that we have tonight is this one. I guess a lot of people have listened to that. This is a Liberian-born UK citizen. Her name is Miata Famule, and this Famule name is well known in Liberia. I guess they have people from Cape Town County. We have Boyman Famule, and then we have the musician Miata Famule, and this is not a musician. So let's get that straight. This is not a musician. They may be related. I don't personally know, but her name is Miata Famule, and she's a Liberian, born in Liberia, but lives in the UK now, and she's a UK citizen. And so she is a politician, and especially so in the government in England. So she's been there, she's been minister, she's held several positions in the government. But right now, the current prime minister of the UK has just appointed Miata Famule as the Secretary of State for Energy. But we'll go to the Lord Churute. He's in London, and so to speak, he may know a little bit more about this lady, her activities, and up to present. So, Paul, what can you tell us about this lady on the screen, Miata Famule?
Well, good evening to our audience. She is Dr. Miata Famule. This is the daughter of Dr. H. Boyma Famule, and she's the niece of Miata Famule, the musician.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that is the connection. So she was born in Liberia, came to the UK at a very early age, and she did extremely well. She also served as a economic advisor to the former Prime Minister David Cameron. So she been around the political arena for a while. Uh, when Labour won the landslide 2 years ago, she won her first parliamentary seat. And honors term, she served as Minister of Energy. So remember when there was a local election that took place few months ago that Labour performed so badly, and they asked the Prime Minister because of his performance, he should step aside. And it was this very Miata family that triggered that effect by resigning as minister, then the others followed. Today, this guy called Andy Burner from he was the current he was the former this is city mayor of Manchester. He just had a coronation yesterday, and Miata Formule now, who resigned before as energy minister, had been given the biggest post. Her former boss was, if you hear the David Air Miliband, he was the
Yeah.
he was the energy secretary. He now been elevated to the foreign secretary. So Miata Famone have now gone into his role. She is a powerful lady, a Liberian, born in Liberia, came to this place during the crisis in Liberia, and she is a big name in the United Kingdom. Well done, Madam Famone.
Wow, what a profile. Thank you, Paul. Though it's not a rating profile, but at least you know this little word than I do. And I don't know how much has Mark heard about this lady, but Mark, I mean, general is whether you know about her or you don't know about her. She's a Liberian, one of us, especially in the diaspora. What can you say about her achievement briefly, and then we can move on?
I mean, first of all, I want to say congratulations to the honorable gentle lady for her accomplishment and her appointment. And there are very few in the UK actually that are born of African heritage or have African heritage, African background. There was another one who was expected to be prime minister, who is a Nigerian, and Sis Miata, and there's another one of from the Caribbean. There are very few with this our skin color that are doing extremely well in the UK, and I mean England for that matter. In the whole of Europe, the English politics is very diverse and accommodate people of other backgrounds. It's not like some other European countries that I can say. But speaking of Sis Miata, we had another. I think we had her on the show or another one on the show the other time, right, Paul?
Yeah, we have Madam Councillor Caroline Masu Babie, who also,
Exactly.
yeah, she
Who
serves. So
also
that,
is in the political arena also.
yeah,
So
then there's
there,
another Liberian guy also in another constituent called the Darfur area, Habi, who also a Liberian, and he ran to be a mayor. Also, he's also in a local government. And we
yeah.
have one in Wales who also a mayor. So there are quite few Liberians are into politics here. They're doing extremely well, and that is a good
So
thing. Yeah. So just
you see,
add that up.
and this and the reason why I try to bring about these names that some Liberian don't know about is, for example, like my political leader Alexander Cummings, right? After all his accomplishment, he went back home to participate in our politics and to see how best he can bring back the knowledge he acquired from the West to to elevate our politics and the leadership back home. And then people start to trash talk, oh yeah, what have you, or X, Y, Z, you understand? So these people, we should appreciate them. Who knows? Maybe as time passes by, you can see her. She seems to be a very young person. She could go back tomorrow with what she know in political science and administration. Go back home and want to help to see her best. She can bring about changes in our politics and when it comes to leadership and responsibility and what to do for the people. Yeah.
And Linford, let me she have an economic background. She advised former Prime Minister David Cameron as economic advisor to his government. So very knowledgeable woman, you see. So, and these are the people that at least we can get advice from. The energy sector in the United Kingdom, she was the minister. She was driving all of these things about the wind turbine, the solar energy, all that. That's her role. And our country, Liberia, that have bundle of sun and they don't know what to do with it. I think it will be a good thing that if government of Liberia is smart enough to be tapping onto Dr. Mianza Famule, because this is the way forward. She is now the energy minister. They have a way of putting our developmental funds aside. The UK is quite good at it, and I think the government of Liberia, if they're smart, they can tap into onto this beautiful woman. So I just want to put that there. Yeah.
And like what Brother Paul brought about, like in America, for example, they have these different countries, right, that have their lobbying group in on the Capitol Hill that lobby for their country to get some investment from America and some assistance from America. So the same thing in the UK. So if you have a Liberian lady who is serving a top position and one who has been advisor to David Cameron, that also is an asset because David Cameron is not a small potato in British politics. So with these people and you have a responsible leadership back home, these are people you can reach out to. They know what button to press that you can get assistance from to help Liberia on because we're still going through reconstruction after the 14 or 16 year of civil conflict where we got no electricity, we got no good drinking water, we got roads infrastructure, we got how they call it, even the UK is a country that has, I mean, it's made of part of 4 different countries, right? But England, for that matter, they have few nuclear power station in England. So these are people that you can talk to and you can get a lot of help from them. Yeah, actually.
Okay, and just to close up on this topic, and I personally am very impressed with her performance. I didn't even know that she was a doctor, PhD, but
Yeah,
regardless
I
of that,
just seen it.
yeah, regardless of that, her achievement is what we count on now because there are a lot of us there who get the PhD, the master, and we're not doing anything much, other than making the daily life. But your accomplishment is what counts, and
No,
I think she's.
but Linford, I would disagree to just a particular point. You see, it depends the country you find yourself in. Some countries with these, how they call it, after what you have accomplished academically or how smart you are not easily elevated. I can tell you that.
No, that
Uh,
I understand the point you're trying to make. I can attest to that. No, I know.
exactly.
I'm
So,
in the
for
I'm in the
example,
Labour
but like
Party here.
America
I'm in
is
the Labour
different.
Party here, and
The
I've tried to
the
see if I can push.
England is different, or how they call it, the United Kingdom for that matter is different. Then another place I would consider, which is France, is different also for our kind. But other society, they don't welcome our kind. You are not, there's a book written by one Mark Manise and how they call it, surname I'm forgetting, and it's about this. ideology that certain people are not welcome in certain society, which we inherit from the animals, you understand? Even though we are part of the animal kingdom. But anyway, let me not, how they call this, divert the conversation. And yeah, but no
Joe
matter
Control
where you
is
are,
saying Joe Control is saying there is no sound. I don't know, maybe, but I think we hear ourselves. So you got to check your gadget. Um, but
Yeah,
talking about Miata formula, I just wanted to add something similar to what Joe Control said. Yeah, uh, people in the diaspora when they return home with all the experiences that they get from the diaspora, when they try to return home, people brand them as people who come to steal their money and run away, people who come in to
yeah,
take
people
their
who come
job,
to take their job. Yeah.
and I can see where the likes of Mr. Alexander Cummings is suffering from, where Liberian people feel that this man is so straight, the way we usually do things. This man is coming to change it, and we cannot give him chance. And the only people who can change that system is the voters themselves, but they don't know. And they always believe that they know a particular set of politicians that they know. And that's the same way the same politicians
uh,
know them. And so they
Brother Gué, the voters cannot change that system easily by themselves. It need the leader of the country to change that system. So, in a sense
no,
that
no, you are not understanding the place where I was driving. The leaders, those guys who have risk because they risk from CDC, from this party, the same people who come into power, other party can switch, it goes there. Those people cannot change anything because that's how they live. When I mean the voters can change, the voters are the one to put in new people. This is how you can change the
okay,
system.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
bring in new set of
yeah.
leadership, and the whole thing.
Then I will agree with you if the voters try to change the political, how they call it, a dynamic in the country by
Yes.
electing a new breed of people from different or a different institution. Then I think that will also help to bring about changes in the country. But you keep recycling the same people, the two part from the same two political parties. Then I don't think you expect and changes anytime soon. And the thing that, like you said, and Brother Paul said, is that uh, the people in our political, how they call this, disposition, they are afraid of the building of institution. Because once you bring about institution building in the country that will do the job of the people, that the people will be able to live better, like Mr. Cummings always saying, to earn a good living so that they can be able to support their family, and nobody will go to stand to the big man gate, and nobody will have to go to the big man to say, oh, my child is not in school, where there will be enough schools through all the country that the child will be afforded adequate education and adequate health care to everybody, and good drinking water and electricity. So these people, they are afraid of this kind of transformation to come to the country. So for that reason, they manipulate the minds of the people that, oh yeah, they are coming here. The Barker look at Mr. Cummings and calling Mr. Cummings
right.
will not sit here for a stranger, will not give our country to any kind of a stranger. But look at the mess Barker had created. And
Okay.
well, I got more to say
So,
when we start our,
brother Mark,
yeah.
let get to the main topic, because if you run ahead of the time, then we'll so let get to the main
Thank
topic
you.
for our
Thank you,
audience.
man.
So, yeah,
Yeah. So
this
today Paul, you want to go? You want to introduce this topic for today?
yeah. So the thing is, we started with Miata Formula, who our own sister, or Liberian, who was appointed to be the foreign, I mean the energy secretary for United Kingdom. So we move on to Liberia. There millions of dollars of drugs in a warehouse in Liberia, Spanish and Colombian. Now the question is, there's a warehouse of drugs that the police managed to catch today. How did this drug enter Liberia? This is our concern. We want to know, how did the drugs enter Liberia? Did they come by air or by sea? or by road. How? It's not small quantity. The whole warehouse in Liberia with drugs. How they enter Liberia? We've been seeing the thing over say the government of Liberia knows something. How did the drugs enter Liberia for you to have a warehouse for over millions of dollars of cocaine being seized today by police? And then the second topic is 6 months on, the Guinea-Liberia border crisis. What's going on? No update. So these are the key topics, and then we'll end up with Bono, who is sleeping behind bar tonight. So if you join us, share the show. It'll be quite interesting tonight. Linford?
Okay, thank you so much. Let me just move Miata. Dr. Miata formula. Let me not play with her title. But guys, you already heard or know what we'll be talking about. But we've been thinking about $19.2 million. And we thought that was the largest. And everybody, people, the eyebrow raising, what, $19.2 million? But then the police told journalists today, we just seized this content. We got to go weigh the monetary value, and then we'll hold a major press conference. I don't know whether the police actually have come up with a major press conference. This is what we know so far. And let me just give this disclaimer. This is an ongoing process, breaking news. So anything can break at any time. So what we're saying here is not a final to say, oh no, you put behind time. No. What we know so far is what we're going to say, because the story is still developing. What we know is that this warehouse was seized. The police were the first to be tipped off, and then the LTEA came in and they seized the operation at the warehouse, and they were able to confiscate the drugs. And presently, at the time we were watching, they were at the police station. We don't know where the drugs are now, and the culprits were there. And it is alleged, we don't know their names, but it is alleged that 2 people have been apprehended. One supposedly a Colombian, and the other one supposedly a Spanish. Which Spanish country it comes from, we don't know. Whether from Spain, because the several countries in the world speak Spanish. So maybe because of his language, they'll just say Spanish guy. So we don't know whether he's from Spain or not, whatever. But this is what we know so far. And so please don't hold us for what we say. We are only telling you what we know. If anything breaks or while we're going on, we'll let you know. But guys, we got a video to what we are saying. Today, the police were able to seize this warehouse, and this is what we saw the police doing.
It's full bags. So it's full bags. It's a punch. See a cook. Il a deux concerning everything. Je vais le prendre. P L T L. Now we are going to the gas. Foul.
Lingo, you are muted. You are mute.
Sorry. So we saw the clip. At least that's what we got information on. Its value has not been estimated, neither the actual value. But from what we can see, information that I got somewhere today is that everything you see there is cooking. That's raw cooking, pure cooking. So we, at least from what we've been seeing from other investigations, a little finger tip of cocaine will cost a lot of dollars. So if you got more than almost, I don't know how many bags, those things are stacked up in bags, they're not in parcels. So if you got that, I think the value, in my own opinion, the value of that thing would be more than $1 million or close to 100 million, okay, or more than that. And then besides that, the value can even build Liberia, help to build Liberia from where it is now. So the question that we are asking, and every word meaning Liberia we are asking is, how did this huge, large, gigantic quantity enter the country? Is it manufactured in the country? What? No, it just pauses everybody. I mean, this is not something that is in a bag. This is not something that is in somebody's wallet. This is not a small parcel that you can put in your pocket somewhere and get. I mean, warehouse. Paul and Mark, you talk to me. For me, I'm really taciturn right now. I don't know what to say because it doesn't make sense to me. How? Where did we end up? How did we end up where we are?
But therefore, we also need to ask our audience, because the team buffers everyone. This is a warehouse in Liberia, so it just didn't appear one day. They set up the warehouse, the drugs may coming in, because you see the quantity of the drugs in there. I mean, that's something that have been building up. It's not just, so then you have the seaport, you have the port of entry, you have the airport, you have road. They get custom officer all over the place. They have immigration. They call it Wally Jones security all over the place. How come for the huge gigantic consignment of drugs to enter Liberia, when they package it first and send it up, people say, oh, it might be something, but it just showed to us there's a warehouse, and then it said of Colombia and a Spanish been caught. So that huge quantity of drug will only come by sea, because what happened, cocaine cannot grow in Liberia. It must come from South America. So somebody in Liberia, custom officer, immigration officer, port security, somebody know how that drugs enter the country. It's not something small. So the government of Liberia is aware of the huge and gigantic amount of drugs sitting in Liberia. This is something that is scary. Mark, I don't know, but to me, Liberia is in a serious trouble.
Yeah, but first of all, Linfa, I want to say that before they could come up with the nationality, for example, Spanish and Colombian, I want to believe they are already established the nationality of the two fellow before naming either of those countries after the two fellows. And then let us take a historical step back and go to the Madame Sely administration, $500 million. That was the highest before even the 100 million during the WIA administration. And this, from my own estimate, like Brother Linford said, 100 million, but I can tell you that if they test it, if it is raw cocaine, because they got to refine it, you understand? If it is raw cocaine, not refined, unrefined, then you are looking after, up to something that is in almost $200-300 million street value. But if it's refined, also then you're looking at something in the 150 to 200. This thing is almost $500 million. I can tell you that, even if it is refined. But then let us go back. There's something I was looking at when I watched the video the first time. I watched it on a couple of occasions where they were showing the arms that were arrested, and then two, the handset that those guys use. Those handset that those guys use, they are handset that you use when people are on deep water. Those are handset that you use, and you someone on shore have something similar like that, and you on the water, you got something similar like that. Those are sophisticated handset that people can use on deep water and on shore. So those guys, if you, I mean, for example, like Trump being the Trump administration being carrying on some assassination or bombing of how they call it, cocaine trafficker. Those guys, they have this sophisticated boat that they transport these things from South America as far as Australia. And these boats, they carry quantity, huge quantity. Now, if you take a look at the bags and the way they got packaged those things, they are packaged with plastic, and those bags, some of them are waterproof, even though I'm not taking close look at them. Those bags are waterproof. And then these guys, they have studied Liberia. They've been into Liberia for a good while. The whole network, they have studied the system in Liberia and how to penetrate the system, how vulnerable the system is. For example, you reach to a checkpoint in Liberia. Even when you get somebody head in the, you behead somebody, and you got a person head in the car, in the trunk of a car, and you reach a checkpoint, you get those security guys, 2, 3 on the, oh, boss man, open the gate, let it cheap out. So those guys, they've been, those things I can tell you better, Paul. They come, now what the security need to do is that if they want to expand the investigation from Maryland, Sino, Grand Crew, all the coastal area, and start to ask questions if they've been observing unusual things happening, like people coming with boat in the night and they see foot marks or footprint. And then two, the area, the horse that the cocaine were arrested, the compound. If on any occasion there has been a container or a truck that bring in a container from the seaport, because that quantity, it will be almost like 20-foot container you're looking at. So had there been on a container, that a truck that came with a container anytime from the seaport, then you have to
But
investigate.
I think that's where the security will start an investigation from.
But wait, guys. Yeah, we have, there's a group called APN Terminal that they at the port. Anything that come in, you got to pay money to them. They track everything. That's what APN Terminal is there for. You also have the port security. They're there. Then within the port, you have the immigration, you have the custom. They're also there at the port. Now, all of these entities are there to monitor all of this. So if these drugs come into the country, where is the intelligence sharing here that because Liberia can so sophisticated now that the police can tell, or they have all of the geospatial thing that they can monitor. So if all of these entities are the port, is it somebody can pick this out to say, oh, something going wrong? Because if the drugs coming through the port and for it to be in a warehouse, that is alarming more. So it's not something that will say, oh, let's start doing the investigation. People have been seeing their big hands in it for long. After the $19 million drugs were seen, people been seeing their big hands in it. So when big hands in something, that is a gateway for this to come in. So that's the bottom line of this. So if you heard politicians calling, say that we want an independent investigator to come in, this is the reason why. Because if a big hand in it, if you say police must go do investigation now, they found a big hand in it, they will not investigate properly. It have to be.
But you
Yes.
just said something for that I want to. I saw RG drugs at the police station, and he was there boasting the joint security, the police, and the LDA. We are working effectively. I asked myself the question: you never work effectively when someone had tipped you off, or when you are luckily stumbled across the warehouse, but you don't work effectively to find out how it entered the country. It should not enter the country in the first place. You should be very vigilant.
Hold on. Remember, they arrested a few people recently in custody. It could be the people that did a whistle blowing to tell them that there's a warehouse. You get a point here? Because some people want to get out of jail. It could be one of them that tells you that because the first one our package meant to go to Brussels. It could be one of them tip of the police say, look, there's a warehouse over there.
And guess what?
Exactly.
These foreign nationals that they arrested, they will also have to give their stranger father's name in Liberia because they are not Liberians. So they know
those guys have been pushed under the bus. I can tell you that. Yeah, they have been pushed under the bus by one or two snitcher or collaborators now that want to have a jaywalk free. So this case, there's a lot to say about this case. So even those that big hands are involved, but I can tell you that this case, those guys might end up walking free because these guys are just foot soldiers. The main owner are in South America. So if you listen, for example,
I can
there
tell
was
you,
this guy.
This one has come to public land. It's not the guys would not walk freely. No way. This one would not happen.
Yeah, except the only way these guys don't walk freely if, for example, Liberia, because for me, I don't call them partner. They are partner to nobody, except Liberia, a so-called partner get involved and want to see that justice is carried on, or the people from our partner too from Europe get involved and want to see to it that this thing stop. Because don't forget, Sierra Leone also is involved. They have an extension in Sierra Leone. So Liberia and Sierra Leone, and then to Europe. Which part of Europe? You got Holland, you got Spain, you got a lot of countries, you understand. So, and they tell you that one Spanish, okay? So that guy know where and which plane they've been using all the time. And the plane they've been using all the time, which airline rather, if they've been using, for example, how you call it, Air Brussels, then there's a special connection in Air Brussels and the airport that they always, because I heard, I think the Justice Minister was in London a few time ago. And then too, he said in London, they send their stuff, and who is the receiver in London, because there was an investigation going on, but I didn't follow that investigation to the end. So this thing is very, very huge. Yeah, it's very, very huge. It will extend to few European countries if they carry on a thorough, real investigation. And that will require not just the Liberian police and international, how they call it, Interpol being involved. Then we want to find out the bird net of the whole thing.
And I can confirm what you say, what you just said, that there will be foreign pressure, and that's what Foreign Gray is trying to highlight here. That because we are here guessing, how did the police get to know, or how did maybe from the weapons that are already apprehended from the first 19 million point 2 case, maybe they would really want to say, oh, but why is it Nigeria when the B people get it or the me people get it? Exactly. Then they call that name. And these foreign nationals too. If the president, no guys don't want to suffer in foreign land, so they will say no, but we can't. That's somebody hosted us here. So They say
My
when
man,
you
The
they,
king
go in a push, you want one small piece of road to touch something. I mean,
the king of
go in a
the
bush.
king of the king of the ring. Sorry, Linford. The king of the ring is sitting in South America. If you let me just take you back because I'm a movie lover and I'm somebody who how they call it Linford. You okay? You talking some. You know, I love movie, right? And I love classical movie. If you watch the movie Miami Vice, right? The new one. So well, I think it's Will Smith or who's the actor in Miami Vice? Colin Farrell. Yeah, Colin Farrell. He's in Miami Vice. So if you watch the version I'm talking about, the guy who is controlling the whole ring, he's sitting somewhere in South America. I think it was in Colombia, and then he had his foot soldiers everywhere. So these two guys, they are just foot soldiers. They are not the mean. They are not even said lieutenants, but they are just foot soldiers to monitor the market that is being in a transit point, and leave the transit point and get to a different person who they then distribute their distribution center. So Liberia is just a transit point. Liberia is not a market ground. Yeah.
Like I've always said on this, I must say I do follow the classical, movies and things. The drug deal, not like one Jalo get sharp, where Paul will get in the morning is go buy bread from Jalo, put it inside and go. No, if that drug is coming from Colombia and it's supposed to come to Norway, yeah, it's not taking flight straight here. They will go to maybe more than 5, 6, 7, 8 countries, and even possibly go back to that same Colombia before we can even fly. Because what they do, they try to dilute the past. They know the past that drug has gone through. So if the Interpol begin to go, oh yeah, it came from here, went to Sweden, then went back to Bolivia, it came here, they might get tied up in the process and tangled up. So that's how they do it. And
And
like you
all,
said, those two guys may not be very important people, but from then they can get information. The Interpol, and for me, the reason why I believe that this particular case is not going to go like the rest of the other ones is that there are several countries involved that at least we know. The first, if and only if this particular drugs is part of the $19 million case, then now the European countries will want to know, because the first batch of drugs, 19.2 million, was supposed to be destined to Belgium or one of those countries. Okay, so then it was coming to Europe. Those countries now will want to know where.
but Linford, right in your country where you sit, the whole police chief, deputy police chief, right in your country you sit. For 19 years, you were king of the ring. And he just got arrested,
exactly.
I think he got arrested 2024, 2023. A whole police chief assisting. Okay, so this thing is huge. Someone sitting in Europe could be one of the guys, for example. Those boys are running our APM terminal. Don't be surprised that,
Exactly.
okay, they are involved because the drugs, my man. El
And you
Chapo
know
was worth how
that's
many
Sierra
billion?
Leone running the
El
APN
Chapo
terminal.
was worth more than $7 billion US. Okay, what happened to Noriega? Noriega, the whole thing that brought Noriega down. There's a book that somebody took from me also. Setting precedents from right where we sitting in Europe here, and someone in America they were involved, and Noriega disagree with them. So they say, okay, but then we'll bring the men down, so the men will get greedy. He feel that he's the head of the ring, forgetting to know that we are the big air boy here. We the one calling the shot, and the brother Noriega down. What happened to how they call it there? Okay, that Noriega had almost 1,000 some more pair of shoes. Yeah, and he Webb had almost I think 2,000 some more pairs of shoes. So this thing is not something small we're playing with. So
Well,
Look,
at least,
gentlemen,
yeah.
gentlemen, this thing is bigger than what we think. Now, these guys will get away free. Why am I saying this?
yeah,
You get a lot of greedy hunters in Liberia, greedy people that just like money. They will keep them in prison and they will go quiet. They will leave from prison. You will not even know.
They will
That's
lost.
Liberia for you.
it's not even the money aspect, brother
Yeah.
Paul. Like I said to you, these guys are foot soldiers. Now the king of the ring is sitting somewhere. and going to threaten the Liberia government, say that if you don't let them to work, then names will be called. For
Yeah,
example, from the
apart
past
from that,
government,
Mark, you're right. Mark, you're absolutely,
I can
yeah, go
report
on.
from the past government to the Madam Sally administration, names will be called. And then two, they will call people, use their connection now to call people from the past government, because how the two guys were released that were arrested during $100 million, during $100 million drug bust, and then two, they were caught with, I think, $1 million on them. They cashed, they were also released, and they left the country within a couple of days. Now, those names going to start be called on the past government, and then two, as far as Madam Sally government, and then those people now that the names they're calling, they're going to put pressure on the Baka government and say, hey, you got to let these guys then walk. All of a sudden, those guys, they will walk free, leave Liberia, and nothing going to happen. The only thing is that the drugs going to remain in Liberia.
So, what I wanted to say,
and just to laugh, don't be mad, don't be mind you that if you leave oil with Roche, you must expect the Roche to lick that oil. So that drug got to the police station tonight. Some of the same men that are minding that drug goes.
But leave for a Mark.
Yeah.
If any big hand is behind it in Liberia, if these guys are in prison, when the cartel boss is saying, release my men, and you refuse, guess what? Because they have given you money before, they will now start coming after your family.
Your family,
put pressure on you. And you don't want your family involved. You'll do everything in your power to release them. Those guys will get away with it. This is Liberia we're talking about.
Exactly. I don't want to call certain name. It was alleged
that case anymore, because
it was alleged that certain names high in the past government during the $100 million drug bust, for which those guys, they were released without a squash, okay, because somebody's son was involved with those guys. Somebody's son, they want to receive those guys and did the hotel booking for those guys. So for that reason, those guys have to leave. And for example, what happened? When the former president was called to I just gave a scenario. When the former president was invited, you are not sanctioned, you are invited to the U.S., you are to, how they call it, Landley. When he went to Landley, after a visit to Landley, he alone entered the room that they invited him to. And I can for sure one thing. They told him, Mama, yeah, no matter the election result, you have to leave. No matter who you go wrong or way, you have to leave. And this same thing could happen to Baka too. If Baka get people in your government are involved or any of your family member involved, they're going to tell, you see, Baka go to America, they will tell you, say, okay, now we establish the root cause of the drugs.
Not only this Baka business, but if Liberia would be labeled as Norca State, it's just bad for Liberians traveling.
Yeah.
This is
but the other day one of our colleagues wanted to argue here that the people they ain't got nothing to do in Liberia, the project protest business. No, the protest also brought pressure. They have to bring pressure. The project didn't protest for nothing when you got the number one enemy of the country that killing people, children on a day-to-day basis, that damaging people, children on a day-to-day basis. People had the right to protest. And the protest also with Mr. Cummings. You see, one thing, they can call him 1%, right? My political leader, they call him 1%. But the idea he brought when this so-called Costa and his father accused Mr. Cummings of fingering the document, where Baka was the state witness, and then Mr. Cummings went and brought in Mrs. Blair. When Mr. Cummings brought in Mrs. Blair, they carried on the forensic. Now Mr. Cummings' statement alone, it shook the whole country. That independent investigator, now the independent investigator is what the guys are afraid of. I can for sure you. The independent investigator that Mr. Cummings is talking about, it could be local, But I can assure you that Mr. Cummings was talking about international experts that will come on the ground and work with former. I can't remember. Let me let my talk. That will work on the ground with former Liberian experts also to work together and get to the root cause of this stuff. So Mr. Cummings bringing high-class technician from out of the country with Liberian technician. Just imagine what kind of force it's going to, what kind of pressure and force it would have been. So this government, they are afraid that, okay, we won't know, because they won't know that these people are in the country. They won't know. They will not know.
If the government hand in the drugs, they won't allow it. This is the situation that the country faced with.
Okay, guys.
But they are Liberian that work in America, also former FBI officers. Okay, some Liberian that work with even the CIA, but you don't know their names. They could be invited.
But the thing is,
a lot of guys out there.
If the government of Liberia hand is in it, they wouldn't want anybody to come to investigate them. That's the point here. They will block it.
But like you, Paul, for example, if you are a former MIC officer, you're a Liberian. You come in the country, you just live in the country, and you go about one or two things, but they got no idea how you carry on your forensic investigation.
Anyway, let me just close up, Paul. Then you can put the flyer up. When I first said that these guys will not walk away, I think examples you guys have convinced me, and I can also now side with you that they may just walk away. I'm not sure, but they may just walk away. Why? Number one, I mean, we caught Liberian citizens caught an alien white man, not even black man, not from Africa, from America, white man, white missionary, cutting somebody through. That one, they said they accused him. They had a knife. They saw him in the act, and this man walked and even went to your airport, bought ticket, and went to your airport. Your airport security check him in safely.
That's the one. That's the one that had me mad. I said, had it been my daughter, I would have killed that son of a bitch.
I cannot put my neck on the board.
Had it been my daughter, I would have shot that man before even said the American government came in. Yeah.
Then the next one is they see drug business. We're talking. They arrested people with $100 million drug, with over $1 million cash, and these people went. I mean, so what more evidence do we need to prosecute anybody? So I think why made these guys to be brave to bring this consignment of drugs? If it were a country where they got zero tolerance for this thing, you are caught and it's established that you did it, you are dead.
Oh yeah, in Asia, these guys will be executed.
Yeah.
In the Asian country, these guys will be executed.
Because they caught them right-handed. Yeah.
Had they been Thailand, Cambodia, it's written in the poor law.
Yeah,
even on the flight, before you land, as you land in the taxi, drugs, they catch you with this quantity of drugs, it's execution.
People can obey law.
For example.
People can obey law. If you think that you can break law, there are certain places you can obey law. If you go to Singapore, in a flight, they tell you before you land, do not hold a bottle of water in your hand and drink in the street. Do not chew chicle in the street. When they catch you, my friend.
First of all, it's forbidden. Chewing gum selling is forbidden in the country.
Yeah. So maybe
even certain music, certain kind of music, rock music, you listen to outside. No. If you go with a CD bag, they tell you, say, hey, you got any rap music in the bag? They scan your bag, tell you, okay, that bag, you leave it here. When you're coming back, here's a ticket. You pick up your CD. Tupac music, then all the funny music, then. No, they tell you, no music, you can't enter the country away.
So people will break law when they know that the law enforcement is weak. So you see, common example, we from Liberia, we think that it's just common in Liberia, you eat banana trade there, where you eat something in the plastic trade. But when you get to Europe, certain part of Europe, when I came to Stockholm, I'm telling you, we bought this thing, biscuit, we were eating it, my friend. I had that paper in my hand. I didn't know the trash can. I had that paper in my hand for more than almost 1 hour, walking, looking for a plate to throw. Because I didn't know that these things sitting in the street.
Our sister is talking about the situation in South Beach. Have you seen some prison where the American and European are sitting in Thailand? You got no idea. South Beach is paradise.
So
South Beach is paradise. Go see some prison in Asia. Then you praise South Beach for being paradise.
And talk about it.
No, she doesn't know, so I just sharing some fun with her.
Okay. Info?
So the Guinea border.
Yeah.
Nah, and sometimes, it's like when we talk, we're wasting water on dogs back. The duffer, the duffer,
Yeah.
when duffer can get wet, the feather is like it got tension, it get surface tension. So when water get it, can slide. So you can put one drum of you say, let me wet the duffer, you can put one drum of water on a bar, that's zero. That's the same thing we can be doing here. We sit here, we talk, we give good ideas, we give proposals to people in authority what they can do, but still, sometimes it's like, in fact, the president himself came out and said the diaspora people, they are barking door, they will back. So they are going somewhere. The government is going somewhere. So if they start to listen
The
to
other
us,
time they asked him a question, and he said that a business when he came from somewhere a few days ago.
yeah, they asked him, he said that a business. You
He said
see,
that
so this president knows Liberia will not do anything. So he will answer them any kind of way. But what I do know is that, my friend, the red fruit that you see up, and you looking at it whole day, you sharing your space, it won't fall down. One day it will fall down. Is that red fruit thing that can stay there forever that la. Dry leaf cannot stay up forever, it will fall. That those are your
Brother Linford, with the protest few days ago, right? He should send a message to his government that he's not untouchable. Yeah, it's just a matter of time, and Liberians were getting there to be fed up, for which they had this protest. And what made people not turn out in the 100 or 1,000 is that because you never has, there were some political muscle were not involved. And I would say like Mr. Cummings, because once Mr. Cummings get involved, you find all other foot soldiers would are getting involved. And that was the only good thing for the Barker administration. But having said that, they should not push certain muscle to the limit that when they decide, say, okay, we are supporting the next protest and we are going to be involved, you find the ground going to shake. So that was the only good thing that happened for them. But to say that, oh yeah, they are unshakable, no. And,
but I think if anybody will measure the strength of a protest by the number, that person is mistaken. One person charted alone protest against stubborn in I think 1978 or so. When Tower went to the UN General Assembly, they alone led a protest. Okay, our party used to protest alone against Todman. Okay, so protest is intended to convey a particular message of disagreement to the authorities. It's not about normal. So when people in Liberia try to measure the strength of the protest by the normal, no, the message was sent. And in fact, the government knew that the protest was right, and that's why they brought a confusion about somebody who get armed and Moluba Molu arrested and the Mogo arrest Moluba Molu. Okay, if Moluba Molu say we arrested somebody with arm, you the police, why you want to go for the arm?
Thank you for bringing this up.
Gentlemen, before we drag this to protest, we have a topic here. Then we
we will come to that, brother. The Guinea stuff will come to that. The other day I was listening to this guy who they say, oh, he's I don't know, former XYZ. They call him one. I think Samuel. He was on the Julius Jazz show. Oh yeah, that during some protests, government can plan police officer among protesters, how they call it, security personnel. So I'm like, excuse me, is that guy really a former security personnel? I don't think so, because it is very risky and dangerous for someone to be armed and go among protesters, most especially for the government to play armed. You can be among protesters as an undercover cop, but not armed, because the protester can misjudge you as someone who is there to cause bodily harm to anybody, and then something else can happen to you.
And that's exactly what happened with the Moluba Molu case. But let's go back to the
Guinea
situation in Lufa. You see, I was just trying to lay a premise that everything we sit here and talk, we think is falling on good ears, but people tend to brush it away. And this is the usual habit of this president. When you look at people, certain number of his citizens who made immense contribution to the economy and call them barking dogs, okay, and his people will come to defend that. And then a journalist asking upon his return from a trip, what your critics say about it, and then he said that their business. Can you imagine? So the president is used now to the situation where Liberians are nothing. He can do whatever he wants, and he will go scot-free because the people.
No, 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 no.
Yes.
It's not
Why?
how it works.
Tell me.
Liberia now become a country of man cause, power cause. This president let her abuse people. So I don't see why they send Prefect Key to jail. They may look at his whole citizens say they are backing dogs. That's a cause.
That's insult. Yeah.
If information minister will look at a political leader and say the men that how they call
Political
dwarf. And the other woman that were appointed to
That's
be
a
minister,
degradation right there.
the other woman that were appointed as how they call it, internal affairs ministry there, Fatima, look at Mariah Yekula say, or be his small feet. So the whole government, they're causing government. So that's show the president, his government and the entire thing that causing. So I don't see why Prefect Key went to jail.
Well, have you seen the video of the fellow who before the election he's like he's one way because of I think drugs addiction that said when Baka become president when the country gonna divide. Have you seen that video? It was before.
There were several videos, people made several.
Yeah, this guy, a video has become very popular. That when Joseph Baka become president, this country gonna divide. I'm talking about the one it happened in Monrovia. But back to this Guinea border stuff, you understand? I think the president of Liberia is afraid of Dumuya after his visit to Guinea and Sierra Leone before this ECOWAS summit. Do you know that this Dumuya, he knows the person he's dealing with, that the Baka is weak and the state of Liberia is weak, you understand? So honor Joseph Baka. Do you know that a few days ago when they had an ECOWAS program in Sierra Leone, this guy...
Sorry, the guy convoy?
Yeah, the guy that the convoy I want to talk about, this guy is so brave. Man, I was like...
The guy convoy like some peacekeeping troops coming to another country.
The Sierra Leone, man, they don't have men in Sierra Leone.
What do you do?
Yeah.
The president.
Man, had I been the commander general of the Sierra Leone Armed Forces, I gave the order that the men shouldn't enter the country. They start to the border. You not enter in the country, my country with such a, how they call it, men, man. No. So you want to come, you are welcome as a president. So these are the tests that he tests Joseph Baka. When Baka visited Guinea, he see the military, how they call it, security personnel, different. I think it being alleged that I think he got some French, how they call it, legionnaire in his security apparatus. So Baka look at this thing, we want not to, we'll go to diplomatic. When Baka is in a tight corner, then he let somebody whose voice are going, how they call it, to do. But when they start to insult Liberia, then his voice can be very, very crystal clear.
Yeah, but I think for me, I wouldn't for now for Liberia with the condition we are in after the war. I wouldn't encourage any military confrontation, no matter what. But what I would encourage is staunch diplomatic endeavors. Make sure.
And that's hold on. Let me hold you there, Linford. Let me hold you right there. On this program, months back, 6 months ago, when I said sometime violent against violent resolve is a problem. You said no. Joseph Barker told us there was a silent diplomacy that taking place. Silent. How on earth somebody will invade your house and you having a silent talk that you have regional leaders, nobody involved? Think on this. Nobody involved. We have Mala River Union that comprises of what? 4 countries, right? There haven't been any summit on Mala River Union to discuss the Liberia-Guinea crisis. No. After Mala River Union, you have ECOWAS, comprising of what? There were 16 countries now, 3 left. It left with what? 13 countries.
18 countries.
No discussion with ECOWAS. Remember when Edwin Snowden went to ECOWAS meeting, another foreign person was asking, what is the situation about Liberia? Now you have the AU.
Before the three that left. Yeah. No, the first country to leave the ECOWAS was Mauritania.
So you have the AU. They meet annually, no discussion. Nobody have called Liberia and Guinea at the AU to discuss. Then you have our own brother Louis Brown sitting down at the Security
and the topic has not been elevated.
It has not. So, what sort of diplomacy that is going on that nobody knows about? This is the question. You see,
but anyway,
and
when it comes to
now, let me end on this. You see, Liberians, you were talking about a protest here. They always use this situation, or because we have civil war, so protest is a bad thing, it will bring the country back. That's what Linford is saying, that because we went through war, so Guinea must take advantage of that. I said, no, this is where Liberia, in fact, the Guinea we're looking at, they may have the ammunition, but Liberia will be more sophisticated in combating Guinea. So you need to test them too.
No matter how sophisticated you are, when you do have gun, you can't fight the people who
but not say Liberia don't have gun. We know that Liberia have gun because UN gave Liberia weapon. We discussed it on the bottom line here. They needed $1.4 million to get it from Cameroon to Liberia. So Liberia have weapon.
And where is it now?
That? In Liberia. In Liberia. So man, why is it they're afraid to say, oh, look, even we talk about the situation with America going after Iran, the small country that giving America bloody nose. So not because you have all the sophistication that you don't think Liberia could be a threat to Sierra Leone. Remember when Liberia Civil War started, what happened? It went all across that region. So if Guinea think that, oh, because they get ammo and all that so they can walk into Liberia, it's just that we have a scary president and he's a chicken president. That's why he allowed the people to sit on our land. And that's the bottom line of it.
I would not agree for you to call the president chicken on the show. But on a serious note.
A scary person in school, they will say that person a chicken. You be scared.
On a serious note, Paul, what I would try, like I'll repeat again, what I would try is this very strong diplomacy. Go after them from every angle. Contact all your powerful friends you have. You see, the thing is, Guinea, Lord, let me tell you, Liberia will fight war. But those are the people that fought war. Okay, people always say Yeke them were child soldiers. Look at Yeke age now. Yeke is getting gray beard. Like me, Yeke is in his 50s going to 60. So you don't have that group of people anymore. Look at born nigga. They want to say now you're making people. You fat high around him, boo, you run away, you're not gone, you run away, you get be more. Okay, so that generation has passed away, and you need a motivation. And let me tell you the reason why a group like the MPF was strong, they had a motivation. Taylor was a motivator. Okay, I live in MPF era, I will tell you that. Taylor was a motivator. But now 1 week, Bwaka, who you hardly see him talking to a own citizen, who you think he'll be able to control arms group. To fight war is difficult.
Yeah, but that's what I told you, that Barker beating this guy and he looking at an old shit old man before him.
Military man.
Yeah, but why is it we was in power he never tried that the we are administration. Say what you want to say about we
Yeah,
are.
but we are
But
we
you
are
look at the
didn't do
huge.
we are
You
administration.
look
They didn't
at
do what Waka administration did. They were under Waka administration that they all the whole thing started with the border thing, but we are not did it. And
okay, but
think
even
we
had
know
it
who
even
we are
had it
is.
been
We are
even had it been we are
a peacemaker. We are will not have fought. I can tell you that.
even had it been we are. I just say had it been we are. A George we are standing before you, a 6 feet something man standing before you, very huge. You Dumuya, you looking at George Ria face of vis-a-vis. You will know that okay, this is a man, this is a legendary George Ria we're talking about standing before you. You watch your words before you even start talking to George Ria. So what you want to say about we are?
Oh no, I mean militarily, I know we would not have been a contender, but he would want to rather. I mean, we saw a lot of things happening in
We are
directly
the same way
Liberia,
you
and
said
we are to the peace part.
Taylor, the same way you said Taylor, even though we are doesn't come from a military background. Taylor never came from a military background, but he got into the rebellion business. But then we are is a motivator. We are can motivate crowd too when it comes to mobilizing. We are can mobilize crowd.
Okay, let's welcome some of our viewers here. Of course, Efanso Tele is here. Efanso Tele laughing and ready to tell some funny thing. And Francis Mensah turned to marketer now. He's a marketer for the marketing agent for July 26. He said we should play July 26 program. Tuan Gray, of course, or Chadela Brown should play, and Alan Goe along with Efanso. Our man Fonso was here earlier. I know he's yeah. And then Joseph Conto and let's see, Gassi Madera Fokpa, and who else? Filikete. You all are welcome, and of course, without you, we cannot be here. But guys, we got one more topic to go, right? That is the thing that.
Before you talk about that topic, I just want you to briefly talk about this flyer here. I think this is what Francis is referring to, if I'm not mistaken.
The July 26th is happening in Belgium, but you see, in Antwerp, Belgium, and I should have been there, but my knee is hurting, so I cannot make it now because I know when we go to that program, what can happen? You got to make a place dusty. So I don't want to disappoint myself by going there, but it's going to be in Belgium, and I can tell you, the last time we were there, July 26th, it was fantastic. I enjoyed the night, but the one I enjoyed mostly was the next day in the park. I enjoyed the park. It was important. It's always full of fun. You meet old friends. You meet people that you have not met before, and we're able to meet some new people. So if you have the opportunity, you live anywhere in Europe, you can start driving to go to Antwerp. And if you have to fly, you can fly there that Friday night. And I had a bad experience last year. I had to buy 2 tickets just to get there. It's my first flight, and then I had to buy ticket to get there the same day. And so, but I know it was worth it. So if you're anywhere in Europe, make it your duty to go to Antwerp. Antwerp is an old little city in Europe, somewhere in Belgium. Yeah. So if you go there, you will see the antique, and then you'll love it. But guys, and anywhere around Europe where Liberians are, and you're celebrating your July 26th, we want to also wish you well, and we hope that you can also mobilize. Our group here in Norway is going to be celebrating in the second or the third largest city in Norway called Trondheim. Very fantastic. Yeah, we got our church there. That church is where they always confirm the king. So it's very special. The first time I entered that church, I was a friend.
Trondheim used to be the capital. No, Trondheim used to be the capital.
Totally different setup. It doesn't look like church. I mean, I almost read outside, but it's very special. So all of you around Europe, wherever you are in your little group or your big group is celebrating, and you can get there, try to get there. And that's going to be next weekend. The July 26th is actually on a Sunday, but all the celebration will start Friday, meet and greet. Saturday, you'll do all your things. Sunday, after church service, you'll start coming home. Yeah. So, but let me talk about Findabondo. I mean,
yeah, but before you come to Findabondo, just 1 minute. I think this Liberia Guinea border something should be handled the same way this drugs issue. No, but my man, it's an invasion of our country, and we got a weak president. I think this thing should not be left with the Lofien alone to say, okay, that's their county. I think the whole of Liberia as a whole, and we in the diaspora, we need to start mobilizing people, encouraging people that they should have a protest that would demand the government to take action when it comes to this border issue. We want result. We want to know what is going on. That's the kind of protest Liberians should be calling for, and not leave
And
the
for
issue
me,
to the.
I will say something. It may not sound good, but I will say, see the local people that you're fighting for. These people that are travelers. All Liberian tribes are traveling, but local people are different. Can you imagine that these people they sat there, people inferior ground? How many Lofians in the government? Most of them, you got people, you get Thomas Fala, you get Joe Boaka, who else? You get all the people. Eh? How many of them are talking?
Thomas Fala, then Sir Joseph, then these people are running away from prison, like the same way they will come and talk about. So the Johnny Boaka bandwagon. So you not expect
let me make a point.
You know,
whether they're in the government or the outside of the government or wherever they come from, this is your country that you're talking about. This nonsense will not happen in Nima County. Whether the president was from Nima and this thing happened in Nima and the president want to talk, Nimaya will start to talk. One country people will start to talk. Pastor people will start to talk. Okay? Pastor people, the people overlook them so that they think they are very friendly. No. Pastor people were somebody who stood up to chat. I remember that's how even the news brand came to prominence. Okay? Those people, when MPFL came on Pastor people, those people stood against the MPFL. They denied that son, Thomas Woyu, not to enter Pastor. Tell them how to intervene. So I'm telling you that the local people, how many of them now here talk? Because it's our son who is president. Okay? Everywhere on the internet, the praising. So let it do a different administration come and the Guinean state be there. Fine. Whether we can move there, we able to move there, let them stay there. In that country, it will not sound good. It may not sound good. I don't want to please anybody. But these people, they will never talk, say it's their son who is president.
I mean, but Linford.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about those that are in politics, but there are a lot of Lofian that there are a lot of Lofian that are talking. I'm not just counting these belly-driven people that are in politics.
If somebody invaded your home and you don't have the balls to say, get out of my house, that means this person and you're in some sort of deal that that's the reason why you don't want to get it. Yeah. So remember when this Dumuya guy gave Joseph Barker, I think, police vehicles. They have been given to him. And those, if as president of Liberia, if you gave more than $250, that gift, if people don't know the reason why you got that gift, those are impeachable offense.
And the lawmaker, that was inviting your president or even
our lawmakers, they're getting something 6 months. They don't have the courage to even call the executive to say, look, update us. What's going wrong?
Who in the Senate will call the executive? Who?
You see, so when I say on a program, say Liberia, una democracy, is not a democracy, is to worship one person.
Or who in the House will call the president, and the Speaker will call the president, and the Speaker is in the president's pocket.
That's what I'm saying. We don't have democracy in Liberia. We have a form of dictatorship that we claim to say, oh, we elect a dictator, and then we say that we have so the three branches of government will sort of be counteracting each other. They're not doing their work. So we don't have democracy. So we might fool ourselves.
The citizens of Lufa themselves, now how many of them see demonstrating?
Not even the citizen, not even the citizen alone. The entire country by now supposed to put pressure on the government. How come they haven't been updated? It's not Lofa County alone. That's what I'm saying. So the cowardice of our people.
The reason why I brought in the Lofa thing and express what I feel. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's
so if you got a brother or you got a cousin who's been taken advantage of, and someone just beat you, and you live for, you got the strength, you got the energy. So you say because your cousin is not showing any kind of, your cousin is being beaten already. So you say because he's not showing any kind of a sign. So for that reason,
God forbid, if my house is on fire, people should see me with a bucket of water putting on my heart. But my heart on fire, I go and stand in my head. Then a different people can start putting my fire on.
What if you don't have bucket? You don't have the means
Let
of
me
the
make
bucket.
effort. I can even take drinking water and waste it there. Let people see that I'm making effort.
Yeah, Linford, but you don't have to be.
But Lofa County is part of your house, Linford, no matter what you say.
Looking at the people.
No.
Linford argument here is
These
that
people-
those in
these people
leadership
are
are not
tribalists.
talking.
Go and
The ordinary
read
Lofian
anything
are
against.
talking, Linford.
Yeah, but just go and just wait. Hold on, small. Just go
But
and read
you
anything.
can call back from Lofa, ain't he talking?
What happened to me?
But this is what I'm saying. We
Okay,
don't
go ahead,
have. This is what I'm saying. We have a country or dictatorship that we elect a dictator and then we say we practice democracy. We don't have democracy. If we have democracy and practice the system, say 3 branches of government that's supposed to be challenging each other, but now the legislature should have called the executive to get update of what has happened for the past 6 months. That nobody get the information.
Just
but
imagine,
we don't have that.
you have someone like Dylan that was never a Boy Scout before to be chairman for how they call it on the Senate committee on he's both on foreign affairs and on national security. Or on national security or defense. One of those. He's sitting there. I'm like, how do you guys come up with this kind of how they call it appointing of lawmakers to the different committee? Where have Dylan served before? And these areas you need people that have served before, even be a former rebel or whosoever. Somebody that knows some level of how they call it, or that have some level of military background to sit on that kind of committee. But he take men at Dylan, he put Dylan on, how they call it?
Yeah. So friends say you read we can lead the protest from the diaspora. That is quite good because it's easy.
Friends, black guy, the men are so sad. I'm not gonna draw a bidding.
But anyway, but you know, we hope the people of Lofa County will start talking. Because I mean,
we're praying that they appoint you one day to be the ambassador to Sweden. So we in the Scandinavia will have ambassador.
Can have us ambassador, but they government have 3 more years. So Francis, you forget it. Be your own way.
So before we move to Bono quickly, the government 3 years they get plenty crisis on hand. They have the border issue, they have the drugs issue. So those 2 issues that they have to deal with Liberians only, it's not, I don't know how. And then they get a Samuel 12 crisis too, that they want to put him in jail at all costs. So the government have invited, oh, by the way, sorry, we have the yellow machine crisis as well. We're waiting for 2029 before the yellow machine come up. So there's so many things outside with the government.
No, but that crisis, so they get it back into 2029. I mean 2026.
No. The minister for that thing, he won $51 million to carry out his operation. So the machine that cost $22 million, but they want $51 million as operational cost. So it just sitting now somewhere.
So what the minister on the request that? So what Brandon Samuka now, who is the manager?
That he the one now, he requesting for that amount. So
the bought cost of money doing Ellen Johnson Salita. The racking in. No one want to come money like Prova. But anyway, no, my old opponent, or we used to do karate to attack.
Talking about cutting money, let's go to Bono, who the government thinks she called money.
Okay, but talking about cutting money, you see, like bro, something about people who rogue. Let me just put it that way. When TV stealing, you can't think about it after Marvel. You will just be stealing. That feed that Bono here today. I saw one page just for crash or weapon or art. Then I see the one spending that in when he played his hair. Saw it today. Feed that Bono show where her lace could be and all hair scattered. She be a job where we have a small bed on her back. In the White House and all. That girl, one thing I never let go for, she didn't know how to dress. She's not presentable. Let me just put it this way. That's my own opinion. And forgive me, please. It's not the Bottomline opinion that me talking. I live for. And It's just my expression. In a democratic nation, you can say what you feel. Just don't harm anybody. I'm not talking what I know about Findabono. Guys, somebody wrote and said Findabono will be joining Prophet Key tonight in prison. You think she's going to actually meet Prophet Key?
No, they have the women prison separate from.
They got a woman.
Yeah, but you can visit. You can say, let me visit. But God, we got a video. Let's put a video up. And somebody raised the issue. We were affiliated. I said we get play people video on the show. We can't get them play. We've always done that, and we don't want to be monotonous. We don't want to be saying, "Oh, this video from John Brown every day." Everybody know. So if we play a video, it's a promotion for you, even though we need permission from you. Or if we can't get permission, all we can say is thank you for the video, and it's not our own production, but it's from so people. So we're gonna roll it in that Bono video. I don't know how long it is actually, and but we always see it.
Yeah, we got cut it.
It's from the Spoon Network. So
yeah, and it was done by Spoon TV, Spoon Network. So let's give the credit because Felix already started. Maybe you'll go test Spoon say you'll sue the people. But it's what we get money, so what you do now? Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is in public space.
So, folks, this is happening live at the Monrovia Central Prison. Any moment from now, the sheriffs will take Madam Bondo into custody. She is signing exclusive Spoon Network. It's exclusively here. Madam Bondo just signed. As you can see, she is signing as well. So, Madam Nora Fina Bondo came here and surrendered herself. Now, the sheriffs of the court here after the judge, Usman Fakai of Criminal Court C, ordered that she be arrested after the bond was declared defective. So wherever it is you're watching us from, this is happening live. Nora Fina Bondo, any moment from now, will be committed to the bellies of the Monrovia Central Prison. She came here on her own. Her lawyer then followed, and now she's moving. Folks, Nora Fina Bondo is now making her way, smiling. As you can see, she's smiling, making her way into the Monrovia Central Prison. Judge Usman Fakai ordered that she be arrested immediately. She's flanked by Max Kemeya, Kai Fale, former superintendent of Grand Chida County, her lawyer, and she's wearing all white. They are knocking on the gate of the Monrovia Central Prison. The sheriffs are here, and they are about to take her. The gate is about to be opened. Her lawyer did say they're working on a new bond, but Fina Bondo, as you can see, is now being taken. Once these gates are opened, she will be taken into the Monrovia Central Prison on locals. So that the gate has been opened, and Madam Bondo makes her way in to the Monrovia Central Prison. There you have it, folks. Fina Bondo is in. Her lawyer is trying to make his way in. There you have Madam Nora Fina Bondo. So she's currently in the Monrovia Central Prison. She is no longer a free person as of now until a new bond can be filed and approved by the court. So there the sheriff is taking her, and Nora Fina Bondo moves in with her lawyer. How do you feel as a person being here at this moment?
You know, honestly, for some time now, I decided not to talk. But at this point in time, I say all glory belongs to. I came on my own before my lawyer could come. And I'm waiting, ready to God alone be the glory.
They're the rich.
The demon has stole millions of dollars from elaborate people that now you know.
You know, as I watched this video, something came to my mind. Is this what people believe in God, the Christians? Is this what judgment they will be like? That the angels standing to heaven gate and the other Baba, they will not injure them standing. When you reach, when I saw Sinabono robbing, when you reach there, they're waiting to sign your commitment and say, okay, my man, you're going to heaven. Or you're going to hell. Then is this what will be running through your mind? And I was just trying to imagine what's running through her mind. She never knew when those glorious days were happening. They used to post all these pictures. I'm not trying to be judgmental of her or of any other person, But sometimes when you have power, you forget what power can do. And then you just do everything power can do, and then you forget the repercussions. So today, Finabono gets reprimanded at the Monrovia Prison Center. If you are asked for 3 years ago, she will not even have the slightest idea that this will happen. Mark and Paul, you're taking over.
Well, Linford, I mean, I look at it from the other side. She haven't been found guilty. She meant to go to court, and then somebody's got to stand her bond, not to go to prison. She have to face the law, right? She'll have to face the law. She have to go for trial. Something about this government, and I'm not going to back Finabono here, but I see what they're doing is that they're going fishing. And whoever big fish they can catch, they put you in jail for a few times, free you, and then let go to court. That's the idea with the government. Until you find the person, you can accuse someone. If you have the evidence, take them to court. Let the person be found guilty by the juror, and then you send them for a long time in prison. But the way they're going about, I think this is wrong. That's how I see this. We saw the same thing with Samuel 12. You cannot come up with something based on how the Finabono get her money. Finabono, she never had any ministerial position. She was never in a position to manage a budget. Whatever evidence that Finabono are working directly with George Weah. So if you want to catch George Weah, change the law and go after Weah. That's how I see it.
Yeah, but that would require the legislature to do that.
But it's easy. The president can submit a bill to the law that the legislature that he controls. It's an easy piece of cake for him.
Well, how can you leave monkey? How can you leave the banana with the monkey when the president himself is also corrupt?
But so this is what I'm saying. So if you want to go after people, because the president, there's a clause in our law that when he leave office, they can't go after him. So if he want to do the clean work, let him submit a bill to the legislature that
you can be proposing that your proposal can only go to a newly elected government board. But this government here, the hands got a red palm all on the sleeves.
Yeah, so they should stop wasting people's time. So we pop Finabono in jail, and then at the end of the day, to find out when she come on, she's free. So this
because just to add on one point is saying that this lady was bad-mouthing George Weah, the former president, a few time ago, that XYZ and saying all sort of nonsensical stuff that she forgot yesterday, like what Brother Paul is saying. She forgot yesterday she was part of the bandwagon that were doing these things to the Liberian people. Even like what Gray wrote here, for example, there was an officer that was killed and her name was involved, and she went around beating even people on the mansion ground, slapping people, okay, on the mansion ground. So Fina then taking money, going to the port, freeing goods and container at the port. This lady, she made a lot of money in the Weah administration. Check the house of Finabono bill. The property Finabono got on doing the 6 year of President Weah.
Yeah, but Mark,
and how much she was making?
It's not disputed. The fact
how much
is,
she was making?
The fact is not disputed. The fact is, Finabono was she didn't have budget to operate on.
Exactly.
So it's George Weah that it was a George Weah that gave Finabono the money. So I'm saying there is a way that you can do, because if you look at it, you go after Finabono, who didn't have no authority to manage maybe budget. So, but then if you want to nail her, the guy who she worked for, change the law, let go for George Weah, how the money was spent. Then when you leave office to the next person kind of go after you, the $10 million house you pay in for ya, they will nail you too. but you cannot be playing the thing one-sided. That's how I see it. You have to go. They did it with Amos Sawyer West. They sent her to jail with Kenya. Then what happened? They freed them. The case closed. So it's just the put Finabolo in jail tomorrow. She can't all that their case. Why we can't do it properly?
You can see the look from Fina's face that this case is just another theater. Because if someone, if the case was not a theater, you would have seen a serious and pitiful face on the Finabono. But you can see Finabono smiling and like nothing going to become of the case.
Yeah, but sometimes
business as usual.
Those are pretentious smile, not really smiling.
And after trash talking, I think there's a lady that did this video. I don't know where she's at, whether America or Australia or Canada, and swearing Finabono that she's gonna be punished and XYZ. She's a former citizen. But I'm shocked that I see Kemea escorting Fina. Has he broken tie with George Weah? Because Kemea used to be a praise worshiper of George Weah.
No.
So, but they're the same group.
There are two things you gotta see with the Kemea thing. Kemea is a Kisi, and I think somehow related to Finabono, number one. Number two, they all from the CDC. They were all in the same government. And so Kemea being with her doesn't mean anything. Yeah, and that's several times.
No, but Fina has broken away from CDC.
No. Don't forget that story, my brother.
She was under pressure. She was under pressure. Then she praised Tifa and Bwaka. She praised them in one video.
Because she won't go pressing.
Yeah, so just forget it. But what I would tell you is that, what I would tell you is that the main target here is Weah, but because of the law that you cannot prosecute former president, whether they are in power or after power, and that's why Bwaka himself is depending on. He built $10 million house for himself. He called it, he lied about it, and that's why he gave the people $50,000 when you get questioned it became problem.
President Bwaka doesn't know how to lie. The first thing he said that this property was being constructed by the late county man from Sano County, Grispe. From Grispe, the dead man can talk. Then they went to the ECOWAS project. The ECOWAS project, the leaders from ECOWAS, nobody can come out to attest to it. The foreign ministry cannot come out to attest to it from either of these countries. From there, the next thing, Bwaka said, oh yeah, we are the one building the project for ECOWAS. The man lied so much that, how they call it, this fellow, Isaac Jackson, know how to describe Bwaka, lies.
But you think, let me ask you, man, you think it's easy to commit crime? It's not easy, brother. You got to be very tactical. So sometimes you lie, but they lie cannot face, so you got to change it again and lie again. Imagine, they caught a man, they caught some people stealing. The man said, no, I just took it, but I'm not carrying it. Oh, so the thing belongs to you, take it, you're not carrying it. Then what you take it for? The thing laying there, not bothering you. You can't take it. We see it, you say, you get take it, you're not carrying it. They say, okay, but then hold it. You say, no, it's heavy, I want to put it down. See it? So it's not easy to commit crime. So to build that kind of property, the first thing, the man come from Foya. Is that any part of Lufa in Asoso or Kulahu or anywhere they were building that project, you say, you know, boy, but Foya, where you come from? All the people, they get family there. So people can bring in ground. Then you say, so all the people in the town hate you, that nobody can tell you.
I don't believe in Lofa County said they got a hospital that is equivalent to $10 million. I don't believe.
So this is the case with Finabono. Finabono now, maybe we don't know who next. Maybe Jefferson Koji is not the country, no. Or some of those guys that we are, they will go after all of them. But my question is, and Paul raised that issue, Finabono was not managing any budget. So if you go to Judge Finabono about corruption, what you be basing on? You don't have
you'll be basing on the how she accumulate the wealth that she got.
That's not sufficient. You gotta that's not sufficient because you gotta when you holding on for suppose she says my friend ain't giving money. What you do? You should say
yes, you should prove
no.
of
That
a
is not
friend
fair.
giving money.
Stay. That
No,
cannot
but
be.
no, Linfa, wait now, Linfa, wait,
That cannot be. Anybody don't win case
if
against anybody.
Linfa, if you how to call it, work in the government, and let's say you work at the National Port Authority, and all of a sudden you are living in this 3-bedroom house.
Yeah.
And
My
from one
position at
thing
the
to
Port
another,
Authority now.
I come in now. Give me a chance.
Give my position for it. Then I'll be.
Okay, let's say you are a security guard at the port.
Yeah.
Okay, or let's say you're a crane operator at the port, and you're making $700 at the port a month. And in 6 years' time, you were able to build an estate of let's say 20 houses, or you were able to build a 20-story floor building. You understand? 20-story.
Yeah.
You build that.
Yeah.
The state revenue authority or the security apparatus can come. They can start investigating as to how is he getting the money compared to his salary.
But the question I will also ask is,
he's not a business
now
person.
Who money lost? Who gave me money to keep a loss before they come and ask me? I'm working. I'm keeping my money. But
so guys, they will not have no position to say she running or office. She was just an AD camp to the president.
Okay.
Paul, let me ask Linfa one question. We live in Europe here, Linfa. If all of a sudden you're receiving 100,000 Norwegian kroner in your account every month, you're depositing that money. 100,000 Norwegian kroner every month. 100,000 Norwegian kroner every month.
Yeah.
What can happen to you?
Maybe nothing.
No, the bank start to get involved. How are you getting this money? Then from the bank, then later on, the bank inform the police that you are making such huge deposit into your account, and then the police start to monitor your activity, Linfa.
Yes,
that's how it works here.
I agree. Norway,
but that is Norway, and that is Sweden.
But then that way I agree with you. You.
So in the case of Liberia, this girl working with me, she get my suitcase holder. However, she get her money because she ain't get no office, so she ain't get no budget.
You got to check the private chat.
Yeah, she got no office. She got no. She get holding my bag. So if she build houses by holding my bag, because you gave me the country money, you now should come after me and question me, but how come your bad girl is building these houses and she doesn't, where she getting the money from? And you don't want to get our country money. That's what I said.
It's not just fair, you know. I mean, so who money lost that you're going to investigate Sinabono for?
That's what I said. Let Joseph Boyka send a bill to the legislature. Let them change that rules in the law in our book to say that if a president leave, they must be investigated. So he can do it and submit it. It will be done. It will not stay on to do it. So why is he afraid of? By going after Bono, it just shows that John where he won't go after, but they don't know the way to. So submit a bill to the legislature.
The law prevent the law.
Let the law bring George we out of book. That's what I'm saying. If you get George, because some said
you know why they will not change the law? You know why they will not change the law? You see it? So how?
But we keep. I mean, circling the same thing, or I mean, what I said, and you saying the same thing. You're going around.
Yeah, but that's why we're discussing that discussion.
Yeah, but check the private chat. Something important inside.
Okay, yeah, but go ahead. Anybody want to say anything?
For me, I mean,
I've finished it after a long time.
It was a wonderful discussion, and I want to say thank you from my end, and thanks to our audience for following the show. And we hope you join us on Friday. We're going to have a very important discussion and follow up the drugs issue. And I want Liberian also to keep talking about the Lofa incident and honor Alexander Cummings' leadership. We won't have the kind of behavior in government mismanagement, and he will bring about, rebuilding of institutions, which is the fear of these corrupt politicians. They don't want somebody that will come in the country that will rebuild institutions to know what institution really should be about. So for that reason, they are afraid and they will continue to demonize Mr. Cummings, call him 1% or whatsoever. But when the 1% speak, it shake the ground. So I want you people, both CDC and former CDC, Unity Partisan, after election, it's not about the party, it's about the country. The price in the market doesn't differentiate. When the rain is falling, it don't fall on one man's house. Everybody suffer. When difficulties come, everybody suffer. When, how they call it, it is good, everybody enjoy the country. So, and these are the message of Alexander Cummings. He want prosper Liberia, and that everybody will put their hand in the bowl and eat and sleep happily. So thanks to the Lord Chodople, the only Liberian who have, how they call it, being the Lord at the royal family. And thanks to Brother Linfogwe, the Vikings, the Vikings. He the only African to become a Viking. So guys, good night from my end.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mark. And Paul?
Yeah, I just want to say to our audience, it was great conversation tonight, and I hope the drug situation that Liberia should, the government should work very hard for Liberia not to be named as a knockout state. It will not be good for the country. They should go to the highest level to see how they can get rid of this situation with Liberia. And with the Guinea border situation, I think our president sold the land until we get proper update. I think the cards that Dumuya gave him, that was the reason why they took the land from Guinea. I mean, from Lofa. So it's a sad time for Liberia, and I hope on Friday we'll have a good discussion. On that note, guys, I want to say goodness to our audience, and it was great having you all here. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, and we want to say to all of our viewers in the audience, it was good that you were here. And like I always say, if you are not here, it'll be useless for us to sit down here for 2 hours and talk to ourselves. We'd rather take your phone and call each other. But and you too, if we are not here, you can't just sit before your screen and see that you rather watch something. So it's a teamwork. You are there, we are here, and we'll do it together. But guys, there was something that I wanted to do for again. Time did not permit us.
When we're making your announcement here for your Independence Day celebration, you pay for it. You pay for it.
Do my man. We talking about the Baka administration.
You know that ANC started the platform, yeah?
We talking about the Baka administration who did a promotion by itself, whether they good or they bad, a promotion for the government by itself. You know that? We can suppress every information from that government. People will not hear about that. If all the media institutions like Brazil will not carry anything about the government, whether they do good or bad, nobody will know about that. Okay, I want to talk about the football team finally. I don't know how many of you were happy when Spain carried the trophy. I was happy. I was very happy.
No, but I supported Spain to carry it. It was good. See, because the fact is, I mean, just brief on it. I don't like Argentina from South America because Argentina have proven to be the most racist country in the region there. So for that, I don't follow their foot. Do you know? I did a research. Diego Maradona, he have a African blood in him. Do you know that? Yeah, because the research is his grandfather was African American that those people that went to the plantation. So he have a black DNA. I was shocked when I heard that, but in Argentina, there is 40% of the population they are black, but it's surrounding.
Yeah.
You see? So you found out that they brought all of these people from Italy, from Spain, and they started pushing them back. So this is the
And the
situation.
Nazis.
Yes. So I don't like this. It's a racist country. So the whole of South America, there are blacks all over the plantation. You think on it. They share border with Brazil. This all of the other countries will feature black people. Why only Argentina? So
Argentina and
And,
Paraguay.
yes.
And one information has it that even their leaders, former president, have been talking against. But I got a very short quick video, very short. Let me just show it and see some of the rudeness, how rude Argentina was. And
But Linfo, we are off air now, right?
Yeah.
no, we are on air.
No, we're on air.
Yeah, but you check the chat room.
Yeah, we stay on. We stay on.
Yeah, conclude on your story.
Year after the World Cup final. There was a lot of things that happened after the match that TV didn't pick up, so we're going to break it down right here. So first of all, when Spain won the match, you can see a few teammates running across the field and celebrating, and that's when you see Molina on Argentina punching Rodri in the stomach, and then a fight starts to break down. If you zoom in, you can see Eric Garcia on Spain getting tossed to the ground, and then when he gets back up, being grabbed by his neck. And it wasn't just the players that played on Argentina. You can see one of the assistant coaches getting involved, striking Danny Olmo in the neck or the face area. And a lot of these players on Spain still don't even know what's going on. You can see Lamine Yamal is literally on his knees praying. And on the other side, you can see Nico Williams finally starts to get up and starts to help out and see what's going on. Then you move on to the awards. You can see the team of Spain raising up the trophy. And then if you look on the other side, you can see the Argentinian players completely have their back turned away from them. Some people are saying, well, they're probably just looking at their fans in the crowd. But to a lot of people, this is a major sign of disrespect. Moving on, inside of the capital of Argentina itself, riots exploded as they threw stones and bottles and other objects as law enforcement tried to disperse the riots that erupted, and they had to respond with water cannons and riot shields, which makes this post even worse. This is the Argentinian president, Javier Milei, who had scheduled a tweet that was posted after the game calling for a world celebration and calling it a national holiday. I'm sorry, not only did they get embarrassed by Spain on the field by having 0 shots on target during the whole time of regulation, which is the first time in World Cup history, by the way, they continue to embarrass themselves after, and they need to be held accountable. If anything comes from this, I'll be sure to keep you guys updated, but let me.
I will talk to you about what happened to us in the election, Francis.
So that was a quick one on Argentina. So there's a reason why a lot of people hate them. Now after the French English game, you could see that all the French players and the English player came together. They held arm around each other. I know whatever they pray on that, but I think they usually do bend their hair. So that shows friendship. You got 90 minutes of rivalry, but even in that rivalry, can you imagine that some of the Argentinians, they are playing in Europe here on European teams and they were playing against each other, their teammates. But for them to be so rude that at the end of the game, they will start kicking people, beating the Spanish players and even the coaches. I mean, who does that? So this is one reason why a lot of people hate the Argentinian team. Now, we black people, when we say we hate them, we say, oh, your little cry racism, this and that. But now they're beating their own Spanish people, their own white people. So I don't know, but I just wanted to highlight that because the World Cup was the biggest event in football history, and thank God that it ended, and now everybody can go about their business.
Man, the FIFA president and America got the wrong president to even host the World Cup. Yeah, let you know on that. The FIFA president is a reason.
But the guy, in my opinion, he just a great seeker. See how the two of them were performing during the presentation of the cup. He and Trump, they get running forward the place. But anyway, we want to say thank you for watching, and we leave you with this one.
Literally, did you want your enemies? They want see me. Put up, kill and chill, they want kill me. They want me to die, oh, did you want your enemies? They want see me. Put up, kill and chill. Hey, good anyway. Become a tana, call you home, you will, with a la line, call you.